In this video, I'll be visiting top secret hidden restaurants, including this pizza shop locked behind a mystery door and this fine dining sushi counter hidden inside a taco restaurant. And we're starting here in this New York City art gallery where behind one of these paintings, there's a hidden door that leads to a Michelin-starred restaurant. Now let's find that door. The one thing I know is I can't touch the actual painting and the door's not gonna be anywhere in the wall. This one actually seems like a painting just hung on the wall. I don't think it's this one. It's definitely not this one. Nope, not this one either. Which leaves this final painting. We found it. This is Frivo, a modern French restaurant with a Michelin star that has just 16 seats. Our first dish is a small seaweed taco made with a fish called kinmedai, which is a beautiful red fish with a mild umami flavor. It's actually crazy. This video is gonna be insane. Next came an artichoke donut with shiitake mushroom and truffle. It was $35 extra to add on some sea urchin, and I didn't hesitate. I think that might be one of the most melt in your mouth bites that I've ever had. Can I eat yours too? The next dish was a delicate cuttlefish pasta, which is sort of like squid. And then we paused for a very unique bread course, which got me really excited for the rest of the meal. Whoa. I love how different this is from a normal bread course. It's very simple, but it makes you want to dive in for more, and I love it. They served a Spanish shrimp dish with beet and tomato, and then a carrot dish with almond foam and a carrot orange juice. The thing is, I don't really like cooked carrots, but probably the best carrot that I've ever had. Like, this is a dish where I have to lick the plate clean. The last two dishes before dessert were a sea bass cooked over a Japanese charcoal grill. I also added on the optional caviar. And then we got this Iberico pork that was melt in your mouth tender. It's the most pork flavored pork that I have ever had. That brought us to dessert, which started off with a rare 3-year aged cheese that's impossible to buy in the United States, and it came with a honey truffle ice cream. And the final dish was chocolate with coconut, wasabi, and white chocolate. Damn. I don't say this lightly, that is my favorite chocolate dessert ever. If you thought this meal was crazy, just wait to see what hidden restaurant we're going to next. We're headed now to find a Hindu temple, and Google Maps says it should be right up here. Inside here is supposedly a small canteen that serves South Indian cuisine. The problem is with all these hidden restaurants, there's no labels, so there's no easy way to actually find what we're looking for. That's definitely not it. It's not in here either. I searched the temple for a few minutes, but there was no restaurant in sight. Just as I was about to leave, I spotted a promising sign. I think this might be the back door that leads to the basement. It's called the temple canteen, but look how dark it is on the way down. They don't want you to find this. Oh, but as you get closer and closer, you can start to hear the voices. What the heck? It's crazy that a full restaurant can exist like this without people even knowing it's here. And the best part is, it actually looks really good. We even met a really nice subscriber who happened to be eating lunch and gave us a few tips as well. They gave me this slip, and now I guess we wait. I'm number 89, and it doesn't look like it's taking too long. 89? That's us. Oh man, this looks amazing. I kind of feel like I'm back in middle school finding my place in the cafeteria, and I'm sitting all by myself. I think we're gonna need another table. First up, I wanna taste this paper masala, which looks so incredibly delicate, and I want you to listen as I tear this off. I wanna start by trying it plain. Even just the flavor of that, unbelievable. Probably a better crisp than almost anything I've ever eaten. And then if we eat it with some of the chutney and some of the other toppings here, it brings things to a whole new level. This is the exact type of place that you can really only find through word of mouth. I see why they wanna keep this a hidden gem. That's crazy. I'll use the mango lassi as a bit of a palate cleanser. Next we have the idli jumbo, which consists of these little rice patties here. I'll break one open to show you how soft and fluffy these are. And once again, I'll dip it in the chutney, and I'll taste one of these little donuts. Finally, we're moving over to this rava masala, which up close looks a little bit more like some sort of spider web. Just look at how much care goes into creating something this delicate. Oh my God. So they strategically placed this sign here after you've checked out the temple to tell you that it's in the basement. It's a backward sign. There's nothing on the other side. How was I supposed to know that the restaurant is right there? This next hidden restaurant is inside a coffee shop and apparently has one of the best cappuccinos in the entire city, but we're not going for the cappuccinos. We're going for what hides behind them. Wow, I can't wait to try and find this place. I feel like we should get a coffee first. While the barista made me an incredible cappuccino, I took a look around for the secret door, and after I didn't find anything, she gave me a tip.
Try to put the door in the corner.
The door in the corner?
Yes. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. All right. Wow. This is bathtub gin. a 1920s speakeasy named after the fact that during the Prohibition era, when alcohol was illegal, some people would literally make alcohol in their bathtubs. Oh, it's actually really nice. To fit the theme, there are literally bathtubs everywhere in this place. But luckily, they don't make their drinks here in a bathtub. So we are sitting back here at what's called the Mafia table, because if you look up on the wall around it, these are all different Mafia members from during the Prohibition era who probably would have broken the rules. We ordered about half the menu, so I've got a ton of food to taste as well as a few mocktails. The whipped labna is drizzled with brown butter and topped with a selection of pickled vegetables and looks to be the perfect way to start out our meal. It's beautiful, fresh, and delicious. I have to dive into this beef tartare. It's done with a smoked fish sauce, caviar, and an egg yolk jam. Let's take a nice big scoop. That is ridiculously good. And it also just makes me want to eat a lot of these for the sound alone. This next one here is a truffle agnolotti, and it's definitely the most fragrant of the dishes we've had. Just when I thought the beef tartare couldn't be beat, this one is my new favorite. Before leaving, I had a few deviled eggs and some baked oysters. Just so happens Oysters Rockefeller is one of my personal favorites. My flight to LA takes off in about 2 hours, but we've got one more stop to make. We need to take the subway to get to the airport anyways, and there just so happens to be one last secret spot here in New York in a subway station at 28th Street. I read online that if you don't go all the way down the subway station here and instead stop at this black door and knock twice, we should be let in. This is La Noche, a subway speakeasy and tapas bar with a 1,500 person waitlist. Here we'll have just a few light bites given we have a flight to catch, and I'll start with this drink called the Tokyo Rose. This is a citrusy, floral, aromatic drink that hits the spot and is just what I needed before diving into some of this tapas. And I'm immediately drawn to this tuna tartare, which is served with a spicy mayo and yuzu lime, and it even comes in this fun ice cream cone wafer. This, I can safely say I'd choose over an ice cream cone any day. In fact, someone should open an ice cream shop that serves tuna tartare instead. Before our final bite, I'll have this mocktail, which is called the Placebo Effect and has blackberry preserves and ginger beer. Probably my favorite drink we've had so far since we started this journey. The final dish is this bruschetta caprese with ricotta cheese. Oh my god. Nicely toasted bread, perfect amount of garlic and onion, and that creamy ricotta cheese ties everything together. But I think I hear a train pulling up and we've got to catch that flight. We've made it to LA and our first restaurant is in a random person's backyard. According to Google Maps, it should be somewhere right up here, except for the fact that all these houses look kind of the same. I can't believe there's a restaurant here. I feel like I'm trespassing right now. This restaurant is called 106 Seafood Underground, and it's an award-winning ceviche restaurant in someone's backyard. From the front of this place, you'd never actually realize how much space they have back here, but it makes sense why it's so popular. They have an amazing setup in their very own backyard.
I'm Sergio Peñuelas. I'm from Mexico. I'm running this business with my wife for 5 years. And weekends, especially Sundays, line is 2 hours.
On the side of the road.
Yep.
This first dish is called robalo. It's a fish called a snook. What we're gonna do is take these tortillas, which are extremely hot, and then I'll take a nice big piece of this fish and layer it into the taco. Then I'll get a nice few scoops of these grilled onions, spoonful of this verde sauce, drop it into my taco. Time to taste. It's amazing. The flavor is crazy, but very, very simple and super, super fresh and bright. Really good.
I know.
For this next dish here, we have langostinos, which have this incredible sauce. I need to first make sure I get plenty of that sauce all over my langostine, because I know this is gonna be good. I'm gonna use my hands to pull out some of that meat. Ooh. It's so big, it almost actually looks more like a lobster tail than anything. I'm gonna need to find out from Sergio what they put in the sauce.
No, I hear you, no.
They have concentrated so much shrimp flavor into this dish. This next one here is a green apple ceviche. It's got some shrimp in there. I watched him make this one and it looked so incredibly fresh. I'll take a nice scoop of that shrimp and apple and a bit of the avocado, which seems to have some tahini on top, and oh yeah. I've never had ceviche before with green apple in it. That's not traditional. Why do you put green apple?
My nation?
What I think I like most about having that green apple in the ceviche is the fact that you get such an incredibly good crunch. And even though that ceviche sits there for some time to let that shrimp cook, the apple stays just as crunchy the whole time. Our fourth dish is called borrachos, which translates to drunk shrimp because they use tequila in this dish. What I love about this dish is that they leave the heads on, which is probably my favorite part of any shrimp. I'm gonna eat the tail, and then while I'm chewing that, get out all that incredible flavor and juice from the head. Before we go, I'm just gonna quickly use their bathroom, which for me feels crazy because it is literally inside their house. Let's head to the next spot. Our next restaurant is behind a random gas station, and it's got a pretty tricky entrance. Here it is. Upscale, casual attire required. I hope that I fit the vibe today.
Hey!
Hello!
Welcome to Lock and Key.
Whoa, this is crazy. So to get in, I have to find the right door handle that's going to let me through this wall somewhere and into this secret restaurant. Can you just help me start testing some? They all look the exact same. This one made a sound. Nope, that's not doing anything. There are over 250 door handles in here, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to figure this out. Nick! Oh my God. Lock and Key is a fast-paced cocktail bar behind a very hidden secret entrance. Our first bite is a pepperoni Sicilian pizza, and I must say, these are by far and away my favorite type of pepperoni. When I think of what I want in a pizza, this is it. It's got that perfectly crispy cheese on the edges, that beautifully toasted pepperoni, and of course, some nice melty cheese. Listen to that crust. This next dish here is a birria pizza, and that makes total sense given how famous birria is in all the taco trucks here in LA. It's topped with mozzarella, onions, cilantro, and lime. I would have told you before I came in here today that birria could never work with a pizza, but it's creative, juicy, and delicious. Next up, we have a Chicago-style deep dish pizza. Now, being from New England, I've always been more of a fan of the thin crust pizza, and it's gonna be hard to beat that first one, but let's see how this goes. Oh my. The crust is buttery and flaky, almost sort of like a pie crust. For dessert, we have quite the treat. This is a deep fried PB&J. In all my years of cooking, I have never seen anything remotely like this. And I can tell just by looking at it that there's gonna be an insane crunch. That's really good. This one gives you all the best things about a PB&J, plus one of the best crunches you'll ever have. We finished our meal with a giant punch bowl mocktail. I'll never say no to a good mocktail, but we've got to go catch a flight to Miami where we're going to see our most exclusive hidden restaurant yet. Hidden behind this ordinary taco stand is Hedon, a Michelin-starred restaurant with some of the best sushi in all of Miami. It's so exclusive that they wouldn't even let my cameraman in, so I'm filming this one all by myself. The chef started out my meal by preparing some fresh, hot sushi rice. He then presented some of the different types of fish I'd be having today and began grating some fresh wasabi. He even brought out a whole tuna loin, which looked a lot like a big block of Wagyu, and carved it to make the first few pieces of nigiri. I don't think my mouth has ever watered this much. He then gave me this buttery, flaky fish topped with caviar that completely blew my mind, and when I told him I liked sea urchin, he even made me a special uni toast that I ate in one bite. There was even a Wagyu course that had been grilled to perfection. I waved goodbye and headed out for the flight to Chicago. Our second to last stop will be this jewelry store, where inside there's supposedly a hidden gem. Oh my God. Should I try on some jewelry? Mohammed, how much does this whole outfit cost?
Like $127.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great stuff. One more question. Where's the shawarma?
Shawarma is back over me.
So if you walk all the way back through this jewelry store, way into the back, you reach the Oasis Cafe. And apparently, it's got some of the best shawarma in all of Chicago. We'll start out with this chicken shawarma plate over hummus. He told me they make everything fresh every single day. I just want to try the chicken plain to start. That is some of the best seasoned chicken that I think I've ever had in my entire life. I have a friend named the Golden Balance that thinks he knows how to season. He doesn't know how to season. Suleiman knows how to season. Next we have this falafel plate, and I'm gonna build myself a nice little sandwich. I'll add in some falafel with a nice scoop of hummus, and then a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now I don't know if I'm more excited about the food or Mohammed and trying all that jewelry on with him. Because eating this food and trying on that jewelry are so far two of my favorite things that I've done in this entire video. We'll finish here with this kefta, which we got to watch him cook over the grill. I know this is an interesting take, but this one here reminds me of the holidays. It reminds me of warmth. I don't know exactly what spices were used in here, but this food is phenomenal. If you're in Chicago, you know where to go. The final restaurant is the one I've been most excited to film at. I'll be getting a message with the location any minute. Oh. This is the location for our last restaurant. I'll use Google Maps one last time to help me get there. Hidden in this random Chicago apartment complex is Duck's Cell. The location changes every time the chef does a meal, making this the most difficult restaurant we've had to find. I think it's that unit right there. By the way, this is the one restaurant we can't give you the address to given how secret it is. Hope this is the right one.
Hi, welcome to Duck's Cell.
Thank you.
Here is a complimentary non-alcoholic spritz.
Amazing, thank you. Look at this. This is 10 times more organized than our studio. So they've completely transformed this entire apartment into a functioning restaurant. Duck Cell is a contemporary American restaurant where everything, even lots of the food, is duck themed. They even have a giant inflatable duck in the bathtub. Our first dish is a donut fried in jamon iberico fat and topped with a white truffle honey. I can already tell a lot of these foods are gonna be the types of bites that look so beautiful that I feel bad eating them. Next up, we have a spring roll that's filled with cured halibut and duck prosciutto, and it comes with a syringe filled with a charred watermelon fish sauce. I love that those vegetables gave such a fantastic crunch. The flavor in there was unbelievable. Moving on, we have an everything spiced cheese puff with a foie gras mousse, and then a caviar grilled cheese with a preserved tomato broth. So this is basically a very, very fancy version of a grilled cheese and tomato soup. And in true grilled cheese and tomato soup fashion, I'm gonna do a light dip and then I'll taste. Whoa. That one is definitely my favorite so far and probably some of the best tasting cheese I have ever experienced. Which brings me to dish number 5, the kwako-yaki. This one is a fun play on Japanese takoyaki and has a duck hot dog with a mango habanero sauce and a fun special sauce. I'll add a bit onto my kwako-yaki and For the entree, we have a duck and waffles with a liege-style duck fat waffle, a tempura fried duck confit, and cinnamon dust. And that cute little duck on the side is a duck fat butter. And finally, for dessert, we have this strawberry ice cream sandwich with a beautiful, fragrant cherry wood smoke. Now this may be the most perfect looking ice cream sandwich I've ever seen. I want to get the perfect bite that has a little bit of everything I'm seeing on the plate. You don't get the flavor of smoke in desserts too often. And I think most of you know I'm also not a big dessert fan, but this one is making me rethink desserts. One more time, subscribe so we can catch Gordon.